Hello and welcome to the Share It with Ishani podcast. And I'm Ishani Gupta, radio anchor and a public speaking coach. Here's the reminder, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I bring in one podcast episode every single Saturday to educate, empower, and inspire you. And today I have a very special guest all the way from the Netherlands, and she is Ruchika Handa. Please welcome Ruchika. How are you doing? And please introduce yourself.
Hi, Ishani. I'm very well, thank you. And thank you for having me on the show. So, here I go. I am a life coach, and my business is Elegance of Living, where I empower you to be in charge of your life. My other business is elegance related, but with your clothing, with styling, by the name of Laboni, the essence of elegance. Because I truly believe that when you feel beautiful inside and outside, both within and without, you are your own inspiration and can make big things happen in small moments. As a mother to 3 children, 18, 16, and 9, I know that it can get messy and feeling beautiful within or without can fly out of the window. So the tools that I share with my clients are the exact ones I use to get out of that funk and be in the moment, whether I'm working or cooking.
Great. So, I know that you are working on the mindset aspect as well and working mainly with highly sensitive people. So, can you let my audience know that who exactly is a highly sensitive person?
Highly sensitive people make up about 20% of the world's population. And this being highly sensitive comes from a neurological phenomenon. So simply put, it's like having far more neurons that stimulate your senses than an averagely sensitive person would be, which makes you feel excessively, think excessively, overwhelming unless you know how to channel it.
Okay. So, how would you differentiate that a highly sensitive person with an introvert? Because I know I'm an introvert, but I'm not sure if I'm a highly sensitive person too. So, I would really like to know. Yeah.
Okay. So, introverts like people, though they prefer to be with smaller groups of people. Am I right, Ishani?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas HSPs, let's call them, are or taken that level of stimulation. So, are you one? Let me ask you a few questions, and if you get a yes to most of them, then welcome to being a highly sensitive person. Right?
Okay.
So, do you find large noises or noisy places overwhelming?
Never thought of that. I mean, sometimes higher noise is a little bit irritating to me, especially if there are drums or some really there's a noisy environment around my house. Then yes, that disturbs me. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And let's say if you are in a group of people having fun with your friends, and there is a lot of like emotional subject being discussed, can you kind of already tap into what others are thinking, and does it make you feel like as if you're like a SpongeBob that has taken in everybody's emotions and thoughts?
I never really thought about that. But yeah, if there is an emotional, movie going on, I might be shedding tears on that. If it is a very, sad scene or something, then definitely I will be. Yeah.
That happens, I would say, with the average number of people, but does it sort of weigh on your mind for a long time after that? Because the normal response would be to feel the emotion and let it go, but for a sensitive person, sometimes it goes deeper and it's difficult to move past it.
Okay, so yeah, maybe even after, I lie down on bed before sleeping, sometimes the episodes or the scenes will go around in my mind. So it will still be going around, yeah.
Looks like you're ticking off more than crossing off.
Yeah, I mean.
So these are just one or two that I've shared. There is also like a checklist or a self-assessment form that one can fill out, and it's available on the internet. So you might be better off, just taking a look at that.
Okay.
But being very easily stimulated, whether by emotions or your external environment, judging yourself or being told by others, oh, you're too sensitive, why do you have to think so much, are also some of the
Okay, so there are a lot more characteristics of a highly sensitive person. So yeah, there might be certain commonalities between these two people, like introverts and highly sensitive people. Okay.
Right.
All right. So Ruchika, how did you start your business, and what inspired you to start your journey as an entrepreneur and going on as a life coach? So can you share your story a little bit?
Sure. Before becoming a life coach and an entrepreneur, I have been and worked in the travel industry. I'm also a jewelry designer and diamond grader. So I kind of moved from profession to profession, but found that fitting myself into a box and doing the same thing every day was not working for me. And also being an entrepreneur allowed me to have my own hours so that I could balance my family life and professional life. So it's been win-win when I started, working myself to become an entrepreneur. As to why I became a life coach, well, ever since I was, in college, I used to hear from friends and later also that when you offer your point of view about something, it makes us feel very light. So it's almost as if you empower us to see what can be done rather than to conclude whether you were right or somebody else was right. So that's always been a part of my communicative style and who I am within, because I believe that it's a pointless exercise. At one time you could be wrong, and another time somebody else. But the purpose of life is to be able to enjoy it. And if somebody is always going to be wrong, or you're putting in all your energy doing that, then somewhere the enjoyment is not going to be there. So it's a different story why I waited till I was over 40 to become a coach, because somewhere perhaps I was also on a quest, on a journey to be more at ease with who I am. So that was the time when I consciously acknowledged the fact that yes, I am a highly sensitive person, and there are these strengths to being an HSP that I'd like to embrace. Okay. And becoming a coach became a consequence of my journey from there.
Okay, so that's wonderful. Sometimes, life just leads us to a place where we might not even think before that, we might be there, but eventually that happens. So I guess that is your journey. You might not have known that this is going to be, but you eventually are a life coach as well. So wonderful.
Yes, and I'd like to say this to all of you who are listening to this, that even if you've been going in a zigzag direction to get to your goal or to fulfill your dream, know that every step of your journey till the time you're living your dream life or job or career is going to contribute, because nothing is ever wasted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. And I'm also curious, Ruchika, to know that because you have chosen so many different paths, you have You have two businesses. You chose to be a life coach. So were you not scared? Were you not frightful that what if something goes wrong? Because usually that is the fear, that this fear is stopping us from achieving our goals in life. So what would you like to talk about that
Indeed.
particular? Yeah.
Indeed, you're so right on that, Ishani. And to answer your question, yes, I do have fear-filled moments or days, and even sometimes wonder, what am I doing? But then the question is that when you are aligned to your purpose and doing, choosing, creating, the level of joy is unmeasurable because you're being you. So, being an entrepreneur, in which I am coaching as well as working with people to find out what colors suit them, what kind of scarf would work for them, is are facets that is being completely fulfilled. When you are so aligned with something that you're doing, that is far more powerful than the doubt or the fear that you're experiencing outside. Am I perfect in every action that I take? No. But then, is your end goal to be perfect, or is your end goal to be creating that which is your heart's desire? So go for that imperfect action because they build into this beautiful creation that aligns with who you are.
Yeah, that is such a beautiful message that you have shared, because we never really think about that in those lines, that it is okay to start as an imperfect and even to get imperfect results, but at least we need to start. We need to take that first step to go about achieving whatever we want, and eventually things are going to happen the way we want, even if we are failing in the beginning, but eventually that is going to happen. So that brings me to
Absolutely.
the topic of comfort zone, getting out of comfort zone and achieving your goals. Because I know you have a very interesting story how you managed to get out of your comfort zone. So would you like to share that?
Yes, absolutely. I've been driving for the last 20 years, living in the Netherlands, and knew that driving 100 or 400 kilometers didn't matter to me. However, I would always stay within my comfort zone with the fear-filled, thoughts of what if I get lost, if I have to go to another country, or what if I have a breakdown in the middle of nowhere, what will I do? So I had this exhibition for Laboni in France. It's a small city there, and I did not have any direct train or bus connections. So my choice was to either take a long journey, change the buses and trams, lugging all the weight, or get into the car and go. So I just asked myself, Ruchika, really? Do you want to live with the fear? After all, aren't you coaching people that the moment you're uncomfortable is the moment of growing? So I was like, all right, choice done. Just got into the car, filled up the tank. The GPS had the address, it was 500 kilometers away, and I drove off. The feeling, the exhilaration is beyond words.
So that is where you have taken your inspiration from. So that was the first step to get out of your comfort zone. And finally, you started applying that principle in your own life and business. So amazing. Amazing that is.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. So now we come to a topic, because you work more with highly sensitive people. So I would also like you to talk about how highly sensitive people are as communicators.
We are, I would say, an asset to a corporation, a business, or even in personal relationships simply because of the fact that we are highly intuitive. We are so self aware that our response to any situation is one where we can quickly assess the situation to a depth that the others cannot.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have a very strong muscle to maintain our inner balance against a lot of stimulation, we never react. Instead, we are critical thinkers. So we think through the whole situation and provide a kind of perspective that is very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Okay.
these are some of our traits which are put to an advantage in a situation, whether it is to resolve a crisis at home or at work.
Okay, so that is actually a great thing, because this particular trait of thinking before speaking is very important, because
It is.
communication is all about, thinking and articulating and then speaking out. Because more often than not, what happens is, when we are not thinking correctly, when our line of thought is not correct, it happens that we are not able to speak or articulate that in a proper way, and that makes our
Absolutely.
communication really hindered. So yeah, so thinking correctly is really important. And so yeah, that is a great trait of a highly sensitive person. Thanks for sharing that.
My pleasure.
So Ruchika, do you plan to write down books, or do you already have some books written down by you?
I plan to in the future, not yet. I am a writer at heart and keep jotting things down. Let's see how it comes together.
Wow, that's wonderful. We'll be waiting from waiting for your books. Yeah. So, any final message to my audience from you?
I would say that we all have some kind of an inner fight going on with us. There are parts of us that we embrace, and there are those that we try to deny, hide, or suppress. And when we are at fight, at war with some parts of us within, then it reflects in our life outside. So, what I've put together is like an audio recording for highly sensitive people. So, if you listen to that in the background, while you're doing anything, you could be driving or working or cooking, doesn't matter. That just helps you to neutralize all those points of view that make you judge yourself,
Okay.
or that you have heard so much from others that you have made them true, and they add fuel to the fire. So the first step in any kind of life changing habits or self-care that you want to start off on has to include getting rid of that inner fight. So, Ishani, I'll share the link with you. It's a free tool. Okay. Take it, listen to it, and let it play for at least 3 days to 7 days, and you will feel as if the conflict within you is calming down and you're more receptive. You can actually receive more from every kind of effort, whether it's physical exercise, yoga, meditation, whatever you do for your body, for your mental well-being, which should be equally nurtured. Should not be the case of the body at the cost of your mental well-being, or the other way around, both together.
Wow, thank you so much, Ruchika. And to my viewers, do check the description box for the link to her audio recording. And just like you said, if you're going through something and you want to relax yourself, you want to calm yourself down, then definitely go and listen to that. Just play it around, and you'll you can continue doing whatever you are doing and play it in the background, so that you feel more relaxed and just go with the day. So am I right, Ruchika? That's how you use
Absolutely.
it, right? Okay.
Yes, that's perfectly said.
So I'm going to download that and listen to it You should also do that. And if you want to get in touch with Ruchika, again, go and check the description box. All the links are provided there below. And get in touch with her if you want to talk to her, if you want to ask anything, just go ahead. So thank you so much, Ruchika, for being on my show. It was such a pleasure hosting you and getting to learn a lot from you, your insights. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure, Ishani, and thank you once again for having me.
So on that note, signing off from Share It with Ishani, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.